Well, the three of us are salivating because we are now joined by Nigella's turkey and potatoes, the Hairy Bikers sprouts and cranberry sauce, James Martin's stuffing, Mary Berry's gravy and Delia's nut roast, all looking absolutely lovely. But interestingly, Jay, lots of cooks made it into the favourites there and only one chef, which was James Martin. Why do you think that was?
It's interesting that it's the domestic cooks writing cookbooks for domestic cooks at home who know how to do it. The chefs fanning around in the kitchens of restaurants don't really know how to write those recipes for the home cook. Oh. And I'll probably be slapped around the face by a bunch of chefs now for saying that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What's the difference? Is there a qualification these days to be called a chef? It's not like being a doctor.
Well, no, if you're writing recipes for people who cook at home, you know what it's like to cook in a domestic kitchen. If you're a restaurant chef, it's a totally different way of cooking, and so your recipe is going to be written in a different way.
Right.
But what's the distinction between being a chef and being called a cook?
Chef means chief in French. It means you order a lot of other people around.
So here we've got Nigella's famous potatoes. Now, Ricky, they coated in semolina to make them crunchy and nice. But, Jay, there's a different secret, isn't there?
There is a different secret. The reason Nigella's potatoes beat up the Hairy Bikers is because they are cooked in double the amount of fat. They are 3 times the amount. Basically, these are deep-fried in the oven. It's an enormous amount of fat. So it goes in there and it just deep amounts of fat. It's really nothing to do with the semolina at all.
And what we saw there was, you know, loads of recipes that were kind of similar, like the sprouts. You know, Gordon's got sprouts, James got sprouts.
I'm sorry, he said Nigella beat off the Hairy Bikers. What? I'm not allowed to laugh at that.
Now, Ricky, this is a tea time show.
Yeah, but I'm allowed. I mean, don't give me dirty looks. He said it.
Move on.
We'll move on.
The
interesting thing is, when you look at the cookbooks, all of them have very, very similar recipes. And I think it's basically, there are only so many recipes you can come up with for sprouts with bacon and sprouts with pancetta, and they're all going to look the same.
Yeah.
Everything sounds like an innuendo now.
Now, Nigella's turkey's here. Would you go to the trouble, Jay, of dunking Nigella's turkey in brine overnight? No,
it's a very good way to...
brine?
Brine.
Oh, sorry.
Salted water. It's a very, very good way to make a turkey tender. The problem is, you need to have a big enough bucket, and you need to be able to get the bucket into the fridge. And that's the only way you can do it.
Sorry. Right. I'm so sorry. I'd like to apologise.
Ricky has been a very naughty boy.
I'm so sorry.
Over to Matt and the lady.